Peace, family. Peace, peace, peace. How's everybody doing? Yeah, I don't gotta talk at once. Yeah,
All
let's
is
wake.
well.
Let's wake them up. Let's wake them up.
Peace, peace.
Peace, y'all. What's going on? How's everybody doing? Greetings, welcome, Hotep. All right, Islam, Shalom, and all of those other things. All of those greetings of peace. Um, Welcome once again. I was going to let everybody, get themselves comfortable. Uh, I'll say a few things before we get into the festivities of the night. Okay. First and foremost, for anybody that may be wondering, this is, let me see if it's recording at the moment. This is going to be recorded. This session will be recorded. Every single ticket holder in the building will have access to the replay mañana, tomorrow. The way that they do it is when I'm finished, they send me a copy as soon as it condenses and whatnot, and that's usually in the morning. So I will definitely make sure that everybody is a recipient of the lecture, right? Secondly, we're going to be doing questions and answers at the end of our segments. I have a special guest tonight. If you're not familiar with my good brother Slice, you'll get to meet him tonight. He is KTL alumni. I'm talking about know the ledger, especially. Me and his brother has been doing. We've been doing good work in the metaverse. It's good to say that and people understand what it is now. You know what I mean? We've been doing a lot of good work in the metaverse. The brother has he's a co-founder of the biggest crypto play ever, along with the Metaverse Academy, along with the Starter Kit. So you'll get to meet him tonight for all of the first time members and whatnot. If there's first time KT Alien students in the building, just hit me with the fire emoji so I could know. If you're returning, if you're back in the building and whatnot, hit me with the money bags. You know what I'm talking about? Hit me with the money bag logo, you know what I mean? Or the emoji. You just want to take a little bit of toll and whatnot. Um, Everybody that's coming through from Discord, everybody that came through from Brother Rich's channel, Black Magic 363, everybody that came over from KTL, Know the Ledge, welcome everyone. This is all one network, you know what I mean? We are here to educate, edify, and uplift all of our brothers and sisters and give you some game, all right? This conversation, this lecture, this slash workshop is being sponsored by and brought to you by the Streamchasers. And what the Streamchasers is an academy that I put together with the main purpose of sharing streams, right? I'm a stream chaser. So instead of chasing dreams, we're chasing streams. And we know that once you get your streams right, then late night you could get those dreams right. You know what I'm talking about? You won't have nightmares at night. You won't be tossing and turning. You actually will wake up earlier because you'll have a passion to get up and get to those streams and whatnot. I remember when I was bad and down on my luck, you know what I'm talking about, and I didn't have two nickels to rub together. I used to sleep till 1 o'clock, you know what I mean, in the afternoon because I had nothing to wake up to, you know what I'm saying? So, but everything changed once the stream started coming. So then I get up and I'm like, yo, I can't even sleep some nights. You know what I'm talking about? They be like, my wife is like, tuck yourself in. I'm like, nah, I'm trying, I'm trying to get to this Baggington, So Streamchasers, the funny part about Streamchasers and the original members will let you know is that when we started out, we did not have the amount of streams that we have now. And I'm not just talking about, the fact that I'm talking about the world. I'm talking about reality created newer streams as we started this mission and whatnot. This is a marathon and it's not a sprint. Oh, you tapping in from the UK? Okay. We might even do roll calls so we could find out where the family is from. I like to do roll calls so we could gauge our reach, and not only gauge our reach, individuals who may live in the same states as some of the students, you get to find out, oh, this brother lives where, oh, this sister lives in my state. And I definitely encourage every single student that is in the building to network with other students. Of course, I don't have to say it, but we have to be respectful, right? We don't want to, we're not trolls, you know, we don't stalk, we don't bother people, but we definitely build and we network. If this was in the real world, if we were doing this in the real world, I would actually stop what I'm doing and have everybody shake each other's hands and greet, because I know how it is sometimes when you have to break the ice and you're standing around people that you might not necessarily say what's up to. You might see people that you see on social media. So we're about networking, we're about ice breaking, we're about bonding, we're about building, right? So, like I was saying a minute ago, you know, as we move along and as we go through this new fiscal year 2021, multiple streams have just dropped from the sky. Multiple streams. By I mean, look, streams are opening up to this day, right? Just today, with the announcement of Facebook's name change, or their rebranding, their rebranding of Facebook into the company known as Meta, that in it of itself, right, is going to open up about 100 new streams. Okay. There's going to be a rush. There's going to be it's going to become trendy now, the same way that Bitcoin, the same way that the NFTs and a few other things are becoming quote unquote household names. Metaverse and Meta is going to be that as well. So the streams that will open up will be streams in the gaming world. It will be streams in a virtual space. It will be streams in an augmented space. It'll be streams in a crypto space. It'll be streams and taking what you had in the Facebook world and merging it into this new metaverse. I promise you, a bunch of opportunities await us, right? But while we wait for these opportunities to present themselves, there's about 100 income streams just sitting on the table waiting for individuals to pick them up. Now, I'm one to say you don't want to be a jack of all trades and a master of none, right? You don't want to just try to do everything. You should gauge where your skill set and your talent and where your passion is, because that's important. I would not be able to do what I do if I did not have the passion to do it. You know what I'm talking about? YouTube don't pay me enough. They don't pay me $0. I appreciate the support from the people, but that's not enough to keep me alive. You know what I mean? This is based off of passion. You know what I'm talking about? This is definitely based off of passion. This is not about a bag. I really don't care about that. That doesn't motivate me. What motivates me is to see the transformation that our people are going through, to know where we came from and to see where we're going, to know where a lot of us came from and to see where we're at. Because I'm not even banking it on tomorrow. Right now, people are lit. Right now, people's lives are changing for the better. Right now, people are going from knuckle draggers to standing upright and whatnot as a result of tapping into the multitude of information that's been provided by both this platform and my affiliates. You know what I mean? Shout out to them as well. You feel what I'm saying? So this information saves lives. It helps fixes families. You dig what I'm saying? And it makes people feel great about themselves when it's applied. Okay, because you can't just watch YouTube videos or catch a few Instagram lives and think that your damn life is going to change. That's not how it works. We're all on individual journeys. Man, know thyself. Man, know thyself. What does that mean? That means that you are responsible for tapping into either your lower self or your higher self. You got to find yourself. But on the road to perdition, on this road to enlightenment, there's a whole bunch of nuggets for you. This shit is like a video game. It's almost like one of these epic movies that you see, like Lord of the Rings. You're on a hero's journey, and I'm here to assist you. I'm on a hero's journey as well. You know what I mean? We're all on a hero's journey. Even when we leave, we're still going to be on this quote unquote journey and whatnot. The journey doesn't end. So salute to everybody that's on their journey. Salute to everybody that's tapping in and listening. Salute to everybody that's applying the information, and even salute to the people who are not applying the information, because I promise you, there was years that I did not apply it when I was first getting it. I was just sitting on it. I wasn't necessarily that, what do you call that, confident about applying it. I didn't have my mind made up as if I even wanted to really do it like that, because it's a commitment. There's no turning back. You cannot turn back after you set out, after you set the pace and whatnot. It's almost like when you take the red pill, you can't untake the red pill. Once you in Zion, my niggas, my nagas and my neguses, you're stuck there. You're stuck there, right? So let's do a quick roll call, and then we're gonna get into the lecture for the night. You know what I mean? We're gonna get into it. Okay. So we have Naptown in the building. Shout out to Naptown. Shout out to Virginia. I saw that we had ATL, Newman, Georgia. Okay, Bay Area. What up? How y'all doing out there in the Bay? Phoenix. Yeah, the Valley of the Sun. I was at the Yay area. Orlando in the building. Yes, it's beautiful in Orlando. Seattle, Greenville, Snellville, OKC, ATL, Tassilis. Yeah, what's good? Hi, Mississippi in the building. Inglewood in the building, Bull City, NC, Birmingham. No, we don't say Birmingham, we say Birmingham Veg. Birmingham Veg, UK. It's 2 a.m. All right, you riding out with us. What up, Mano? Bakersfield, Queens, DeKalb, Illinois, Cincinnati, Western New York, next to the Rough Buff. Memphis in the building. Feel you. I see you, Memphis, Tennessee. You know what I'm talking about? I see you, Memphis. Shout out to Memphis. Oh, that's one of my Patreons. How you doing, Kelly? You know what I mean? Shout out to all of my Patreons. It's big love over here. You know what I mean? We're going to take care of all of the Patreons. Fret not and worry not. I got you. Y'all are preferred customers. You sit in VIP. You know what I'm talking about? We're going to put you up in VIP and send you a bottle. Clearwater. All right. Clearwater, Florida. All right now. Snellville, KT, the arts degree used to be in Snellville. That's right there. You could see Stone Mountain from there. I used to go to a barbershop. Shout out to the brother Dice. Los Angeles, California. Okay, now I see you, Los Angeles. You know what I'm talking about? I love Los Angeles. I loved it when I was out there. Let's just say that. I passed through there when Nipsey made his transition, and we were at the coronation, you know, his ascension ceremony. And the energy in Los Angeles was crazy. So I definitely salute to Los Angeles. I tip my fares. Nashville, Tennessee. All right now. Okay now. Nashville. I was in Nashville briefly it was just really a pit stop. And I don't know the name of the strip where they have like the some of those blues spots and whatnot. And they had like a park across the street. It was pleasant. It was definitely pleasant. Greensboro, NC, by way of Norfolk. I see you. Oh, that's my guy. What's goody, Dre? All right. That's my guy. I need that. I'm looking. I need a box of that ancient homage. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm talking about? Let's work that out. You got some fire drip. You know what I mean? You got some fire drip on your hands. I appreciate you. Okay, then. So that is the roll calls. I guess we got that out the way. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody in the building and wherever you domicile. All right. Salute to y'all. So yeah, let's get into it. I don't want to hold anybody up. I want to get you, I want to be able to get y'all back to your loved ones. You know, we're not going to have you to the wee hours of the morning. You know what I'm talking about? We don't want to have you into the wee hours of the morning. So we're going to be definitely respectful of the time, okay? Of the time. Okay. So it's 9:30. Yeah, so hopefully by midnight we'll be out of here, or maybe even before that. And like I said earlier, if you find yourself having to, you know, tap out because you have things to do, right? Like life is calling you. You know, there's a lot of parents out there, and some people are on the plantation or the 9 to 5 or the gig. You know, fret not, worry not. You know, don't let it Don't let it hinder you. Don't get all, you don't have to get caught up in whatnot and get anxiety attacks because we are filming this, we're taping it, and it will be available for you for replay. You know what I mean? And when you have the replay, you'll have it forever. Okay. And I would only ask that everybody is definitely respectful of the intellectual property. You dig what I'm saying? I don't want to send Perry Mason after y'all. You know what I mean? My lawyers, they'll eat the case. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we out here. So let's just be respectful. But yeah. So as you can see by the flyer, Streamchaserz presents the starter kit. Okay. So tonight we're going to get into multiple new streams, all right? This is about the digital nomads. This is about empowering any brothers and sisters who are looking to open up, right? Or brothers and sisters and children, right? Because this is for the little ones. We are definitely consolidating the information to appeal to a younger demographics because in my research, right, as I go digging and whatnot, I'm encountering young men and women, teenagers, young adults, 13, 14, 15, 12, 16, 17, 18, and 19 years old, not only booming in the NFT space, non-fungible tokens, right? But they're killing it in the crypto arena. They're killing it in the Forex arena. They're killing it in the digital economy, period, right? They've learned how to tap in to the quote unquote multiple income streams. And of course, because they don't have a lot of bills, they don't have the worries that adults have, they could even focus, a little more tighter. They could focus a little more laser-like on something that they're passionate about. Keyword, passion. We are in the throes of the passion economy. People that are winning and are waking up happy and it don't feel like they're going to work are doing things that they're passionate about, right? Okay, you have teachers that are teaching on Patreon, Thinkific, you know what I mean? All of these different platforms that allow people who are making $50,000 a year to make $50,000 a month. Don't blame it on them. It's the way that this post-pandemic world has been set up. We didn't make it like that. That's the ancestors doing their juju. Okay. So you have people on OnlyFans and they're not just sharing adult content, they're teaching. They're giving out tax information. They're giving out credit repair information. There's people that are teaching you how to draw on OnlyFans, making a lot of money. I saw the receipts and whatnot. You have brothers and sisters like my good brother Derek Grace, who I went to participate in Derek Grace TV Uncensored the other day out there in Florida. He's taken it upon himself to launch his own TV channel, subscription-based TV channel and whatnot. And he has a lot of, he's doing his thing and whatnot. And he's very passionate about what it is that he's doing. But it's not just him. I was able to meet his team. It's about 10 of them. And they're all getting to the bag and whatnot, and they're doing things that they love, and they're learning as they go along. They're meeting people such as myself and other influencers, world changers, scholars, teachers, you name it. And these people are, they're interviewing them and they're learning through the interview. They're becoming, enlightened by the answers that they receive based off of the questions that they ask. So the key word is to be very passionate these days about what it is that you do. Even if you find yourself in a situation that you're not passionate about, all we have to do is be good planners, right? You know what I mean? Like nothing is, unless you serve in life and whatnot, you know what I'm talking about? Nothing is really definite. Nothing is definite. There's so many jobs that people have been in and they left these jobs to level up and do what it is that they want to do, become their own CEO. But to be your own CEO, the shit sounds good. You see it on Instagram. People show you the sunny side of it, but they don't show you the rainy days. It's not an easy task. Think about going to work from 9 to 5, to work from 5 to 9, to work for 24 hours, where it does never turn off. Okay, your office is never closed. When you're tapped into the digital economy, chances are you're in a 24-hour cycle. Okay, there's pros and cons to it. But what we're going to show you tonight, and what we're going to share with you tonight, is ways to tap into do-it-yourself graphic design, do-it-yourself web design, negotiation skills, payment processing, and how to price products/services, distribution skills for digital products, and podcast syndication hacks, right? You'll learn to work from anywhere. There's a book that I bought and I read it in 2011, and it shifted my reality. It was actually a gift from a friend of mine named Paris, and she handed it to me, and it was called 4-Hour Work Week. Okay, the 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. And it was an idea back in those days. We're talking 2011, before the digital economy really got to booming and whatnot. This is the baby stage. This is the infantile stages of the digital economy. But the book that this man wrote, he has a podcast as well. You could check him out. Tim Ferriss, 4-Hour Work Week. It spoke about the digital nomad, brothers and sisters and people who can go to the islands, right? You have people that are online on Instagram, they're chilling in Tulum, they're in Mexico, they're in Puerto Rico, Playa del Carmen and whatnot, they're in Dubai, they're all over the world, they're in Ghana, they're in you know what I'm saying, they're all over the world. They're not locked into a cubicle. They're not around the world shaking a cup. They're not around the world begging. They're not a beggar. They didn't take the beggar nation shit on the road and whatnot. They're on the road living their life, checking things off on a bucket list, taking their children out of the education system and hitting the road, becoming homeschoolers and whatnot, and basically, you know, exploring the continent. Okay. And living a life that, you know, people couldn't even fathom a few years ago. They didn't know how they would be able to get out of their situations. But here we are in the reality, in a new world, right? Where the reset has allowed many of us to become digital nomads, to where we're not locked into a physical location. Our mail is an email. You dig what I'm saying? We live on the road. You can't hit my phone number because I live on the road. Right. And that's something that people are passionate about. They're comfortable doing that. And I applaud and I salute every single person who have made that life decision, because it's not an easy one. It's not like you could just get up one day and just hit the road and go, especially if you got little ones and whatnot. But if you plan properly and you're confident what it is that you do, and you build up a nice social media following. In previous workshops, I shared a formula called a 1,000 fan theory. You could apply that to damn near anything that you do, especially with Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Meta, and all of these other social media / social networks options and whatnot. You have more options than a little bit these days. So if you could build up 1,000 true fans that are as passionate about what it is that you do, that you're as passionate about, then you can, quote unquote, live outside of the fear paradigm, outside of lack, outside of scarcity. Okay, you could live in abundance. I promise you. You might not be able to live high on a hog. If you want to live high on a hog, you got to step it up and get 1,000 true fans, or 5,000 or 10,000. The more numbers that go up, of course, you know, you're gonna be able to increase your yearly profits and whatnot. But it's fair exchange, no robbery. You make music, you paint, you do movies, you create any form of content, and you have fans and people that appreciate you. You don't have no middleman. You don't have, you don't have Hollywood with their hands in your pocket. You don't have these agents and whatnot with their hands in your pocket. You don't have a studio telling you what to do. You don't have a label telling you what to do. You don't have all of these rip-off artists, because if you think for 1 minute that our talented ancestors and the people that we looked up to, who grew us up, on some of their great content and their quote unquote intellectual property, if you don't think that these middlemen were the ones that were in the middle of their joy, their freedom, and their peace of mind, then you got another thing coming to you. I would highly suggest that you go see Unsung, the series on UBN, The Unsung and Where Are They Now, along with a few other of those titles and whatnot. They tell you how they chew these artists up and spit them out. And the people who make the majority of the lion's shares have no talent. The only talent that they have is manipulating contracts, fast talking, and being able to lie to your ass with a straight face. Okay. So we are supporting and we're promoting digital nomads. We're promoting our network to get up and move around. Don't get stuck in a lockdown. Don't get stuck in the fear paradigm. Don't get stuck with limits. Don't get boxed in. This is your opportunity to move around, and we're going to give you the tools that you can utilize to do such. Okay. And there's thousands upon thousands of examples that we can show you. It's not just one or two people. I could take you through a whole list of people that have tapped in and they're living their lives the way that they're supposed to live it. You know, the evils or devil, right? The evils, the shit that men do when they're stuck, like Jay-Z broke down. When you turn that around, that's L-I-V-E-D, lived. So when you're living backwards, you're stuck in the evils. You're doing evil shit. You know what I mean? You're doing devilish things and whatnot. You're on the block, hugging the block, selling poison and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? You're taking penitentiary chances. You're throwing bricks and whatnot. You're putting your whole family in danger. You dig what I'm saying? But when you turn yourself around, when you turn your perspective on life around, because that's really what it is. It's a mental decision first and foremost. You got to be fed up and sick and tired of being sick and tired of being, of doing dumb shit. You know what I mean? That old paradigm that we grew up with, gangster rap paradigm, the trap rap paradigm, the get it out the mud paradigm, or get it how you live, penitentiary chance paradigm, that shit is dead and over with. Even the trap rappers is trying to get their life together. Shout out Rick Ross. You know what I'm talking about? They eating kale salads. They pushing sea moss on the low. Their conversation has changed. It has grown. It has metamorphed. While the listeners and the people who follow them are somewhat still stuck. But it's all a mentality thing. It has a lot to do with the overall mental state of our people. So we're here to change that. Okay. If you have not joined the Know the Ledger Discord, I highly suggest that you tap in. Okay. Definitely tap in. The Discord is a newer platform. I won't even call it social media. This is the beginning of social networking. This is a community building platform. We're going to take this Discord platform and we're going into the metaverse with it. But before we go into the metaverse, we're going to edify, we're going to educate, and we're going to enroll. We're up to 500. I think 1,000 will be good. When we hit 1,000, when we hit that milestone, we're going to go ahead and jump into the metaverse and do some things in the metaverse, shake some things up. We're going to go ahead and blow some NFT artists up and make money whilst doing that, because that's the great thing about NFT art, which I will touch on in a little while when I go through my presentation and whatnot. I'm going to warm it up. I'm going to warm it up for my good brother to come through. I'm going to warm it up. I got to warm things up and, touch on some things that are going on in the news and whatnot to point to the temperature, you know what I mean? Because this workshop is also a timestamp. When I look back on this 6 months from now or a year from now, I'm like, damn, that was the state of mind of the people. That's where we were at, you know what I mean? While I'm sitting on a yacht or something, I'm like, shit, that's interesting. And this is where we were at a year ago. Now look where we're at. This is how you're able to measure oneself. This is how you can, this is how you measure growth. You have to go backwards. You know what I mean? By not really going backwards. You want me to share the link? All right, give me 1 minute. Let me share the link. I'm going to drop the link right in there. Give me 1 second. Yes, but I definitely I like Discord. Discord is very dope. Discord is very dope. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna hold you, you know. And the community that we have on Know the Ledger, as you can see, right? We have channels, right? Channels are like rooms and whatnot. Channels would be if we're in a college, let's say that we're in Oxford University, the channels would be your majors and whatnot. You know what I mean? The major classes. So we have ancient teachings, artificial intelligence, astronomy, business links, crypto and more, health and wellness, Know the Ledge Media, 24-hour news, 24/7 news, off the grid, you know what I mean? Memes and things. And then we have a social media account where people drop in their social medias. We have a metaverse room, right? We have a room on ancient teachings, artificial intelligence. We have a KTL and build. These are our voice channels. Same voice that you're hearing right now, the same conversation that we're having right now, how you can hear me and we're all in the room together, like how Zoom is set up. They have the same capabilities over there. They even have video as well, like Zoom. So we have the media room, Mind Eye Movies, Mind Eye Documentaries. We also have Conscious Connections. Shout out to everybody ready to connect. Look at that. We got people dropping in their picture, right? Conscious Connections, you know what I'm talking about? Because we want to bring the people together, right? We also have Facts Initiative. Okay. We got Facts. It's blurry. No problem. No problem. No problem. Is this blurry right here, though? Is this blurry? That's probably how they got it set up. You know what I'm saying? That's probably how they got it set up. You never know. Is this blurry though? Is the Zoom blurry? That's all I want to know. Because if my keynote, I want to make sure my keynote is clear. But don't worry about all of that. Just sign up to it and you don't have to worry about it with the blurriness. You'll see that shit very. You said the presentation is blurry. You serious? You sure about that? The pres. So is this blurry? Oh, they said that the Zoom is okay. Let me know about the Zoom because I'm sharing this presentation. Do you see me in the video too? Do you see my picture? Do you see my video? Or you just hear me? Let me know. I don't know how it's coming. Okay, that pic is blurry. Image is slightly pixelated. Words are unreadable. The screen share is a little bit. Okay, give me a minute. Let me figure this out because that's a no buenos. You know what I mean? That's no buenos. I might close out something. Let me quit Discord because what had happened was, right? Give me a second. Let me stop the share. Give me a second. I'm gonna close out some windows because sometimes you know that's what it that's that you know it's like yo I can't take all of this. Let me go ahead and close some of these windows. Hmm. Give me 1 second. We get back to it, and then y'all let me know how it looks because it's one thing is to hear things, but I want y'all to, you know, I need y'all to see this. I need y'all to see what we're building on. Oh, okay. That's probably what it was. Boom. Turn that off. Turn that off. Boom. Okay, so we should be gooch. Let me close out Netflix. And I'll let y'all know that we'll take a break in about an hour and a half. Maybe when I'm finished my segment before Slice comes on, we'll take a bathroom break. You know what I mean? Water break, you know, whatever you got to do, we'll do that because, you know, I don't want y'all to be sitting around and whatnot. And y'all got to take care of nature when nature is calling. You're not able to do that. Okay, then. All right. Let me try this now. Let's see what it do. All right. Let me know how this looks. Did anything change? Mm. Y'all with me still? Let me see. It's clear. Okay, it's clear. There we go. Touchdown. Okay, let's go. All right, so let's get into it. All right, no problems. I don't want no smoke. But don't utilize the text box if you have to write some messages. Don't you know what I mean? We don't feel shy. You know, let me know what's going on because sometimes I don't be. You know, I'm just going in. I don't know what's going on. So Mark Zuckerberg sets Facebook on a long, costly path to a metaverse reality, right? A lot of people might not understand what that means when they see it, but like I said, it'll all make sense very, very soon. It will all make sense. And I don't want anybody to be intimidated by the words metaverse or what you see Facebook did today by switching things up. You know, we'll break down what all of that means and we'll show you why that's a great thing for the stream chasers. Okay, give me 1 minute. I'm just gonna pull it up in my phone to make sure that that everything is clear. All right. This meeting is being recorded. All right. So another major thing that happened in the world of crypto this week on Monday, the 25th, MasterCard said that any bank or merchant on its vast network can soon offer crypto services. MasterCard is preparing to announce that any of the thousands of banks and millions of merchants on its payments network can soon integrate crypto into their products, CNBC has learned. That includes Bitcoin wallets, credit and debit cards that earn rewards in crypto and enable digital assets to be spent, and loyalty programs where airline or hotel points could be converted into Bitcoin. Yo, that's crazy. To do so, the payment network is partnering with Bakkt, a crypto firm recently spun off by Intercontinental Exchange, which will be the behind-the-scenes provider of custodial services for those who sign up, executives at the two firms told CNBC. 50 million retailers settled for Litecoin funds, leading to a large surge in on-chain exercise. This was on October the 27th. The world's largest and best-known brands are entering the growing cryptocurrency market through BitPay's partnership with Verifone. Litecoin's payment spikes is driving altcoins on-chain activity soaring. Litecoin has offered the third highest risk-adjusted returns for the past 24 hours. Institutional investors have historically preferred altcoins that have been around over 4 years, such as Ethereum and Litecoin. All right, so Litecoin is going up. Okay, they've been adopted, right? They're onboarding millions of people, right? So one of the great things about cryptocurrency and what helps its parabolic growth and whatnot, and what gives it its validity, is when major brands such as MasterCard and whatnot basically tap these cryptocurrencies, whether they're altcoins or the big kahuna, which is Bitcoin and whatnot, for their services. What it does is it increases the use case. It also gives the opportunity for these coins to circulate amongst millions upon millions of people who might not necessarily been onboarded into the crypto space through places like a Coinbase or, a Binance and whatnot. They're coming in through MasterCard now. So once these, and one of the main hurdles about cryptocurrency and the metaverse and NFTs is the fact that it's not quote unquote user friendly. And I'm going to say this, and I'm also talking to myself at the same time. What translates to user friendlies is just some American lazy shit. You know what I mean? It's just not handed to us where it's push button and whatnot. We actually have to do a few things to get to the destination that we want to reach. But the reluctance that people have to not do that has kept them away from being millionaires and possibly billionaires. Think about that. It's like, oh, it's kind of hard. Well, is waking up at 4:30 in the morning hard to go work for somebody who, don't like you? Is busting, you know what I mean? Is giving 30 years to the city, is that hard? You know what I'm talking about? It's not hard. It's just not, it's just not handed to you. It's not hard though. You feel me? It's not hard because it was a lot more difficult years before. It's challenging. It's not even challenging. I would say, it's in its earliest inceptions. So many things in their early inceptions are not. I remember when people were like, I don't know how to log on to Facebook. The shit is hard. I got to put in my email and make a password. I don't know how to do it, right? But they found a way. Somebody behind the scenes helped to simplify the process, which increased the onboarding, and now you have mass adoption. So we're at a point where mass adoption may be about 3 to 4 years away from us. So the information that we're sharing with the family, starting from right now, going all the way back to when we first started talking about the cryptocurrencies in 2014 on Know the Ledge radio and whatnot, what that is doing is giving you the opportunity right now to be an early adopter. Early adopters always win. Think about being an early adopter and you was buying Nike stocks in the beginning of that thing before it really took off, before Michael Jordan started dunking from the damn 3-point line, right? Imagine being an early adopter and you was hip to what Stephen Jobs was doing in his 5th year at Apple and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? And instead of buying just the computers, you was like, let me buy about 100 shares of Apple stock. That's early adoption, right? Later on down the line, it's become beneficial. So in reality, when we speak about, hold on a minute. People from India talking about, hi Phil, how are you? I'm like, fam, let's not do this right now. You know what I'm talking about? Scam, give me a scam call later. I'm teaching right now. But what I want to share is that being an early adopter has its benefits, right? It has its benefits. So never beat yourself up, even if you see your whole timeline is booming and everybody's talking about Shiba Inu and everybody's talking about crypto and everybody's talking about the metaverse, and in your inbox it's 100,000 people trying to sell NFTs to you and whatnot. You're still in the beginning of the movie, okay? You know, the popcorn didn't even get cold yet. So don't beat yourself up, right? You know, because there's a lot of people that are out here that they get this FOMO, fear of missing out. They get FUD and whatnot. They hear about Bitcoin and they begin getting depressed and shit, like damn. Or they hear about a coin that they don't own and people are celebrating their wins and they're like, to the rock, to the moon and whatnot. And then you're in the background with the tight face and whatnot, like damn, I didn't get that shit. I'm mad. I want to give up. And it's like, no, retard, don't feel like that. I understand the feeling, but you got to really push past that shit. You know what I'm talking about? You really, this is really a mental thing. You got to, and for those who are willing to even enter into this space, the possibility of your mind sharpening, like how swords sharpen swords or knives sharpen knives and whatnot, the possibilities are very high. You could come out of this very, very sharp. It's going to teach you about psychology. It's going to teach you about patience. It's going to teach you how to read things technical. You can read the technical charts and things of that nature. Like, these are some life skills that we picking up here. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying all of that to say, you know, be very thankful that you are receiving information at this stage in the game, because possibilities are endless. Sky is the limit. And I'm not just saying that because the shit sounds good. It really is right now. You know what I'm talking about? It's 8 billion people on the planet. It ain't that many people that's active like that in this space. And the shit is already booming. It's already at a multiple trillion market cap, all of the cryptos together. So just keep pushing on and find what works for you, right? Find what works for you. The acceptance of Litecoin payments is increasing. BitPay, a Bitcoin service provider, and Verifone have teamed up to drive the adoption of digital payments through Litecoin. Verifone, an American multinational company, it works with over 600,000 merchants and manages over $10 billion in online transactions. Verifone's in-store transactions top 440 billion. You know, when you swipe the card, right? You know, when you swiping the card and whatnot, and they go through that, they have that that apparatus that you put your card in and whatnot. That's Verifone. Okay, that would be Verifone. Give me 1 minute. Anybody from El Salvador in the building? Anybody from El Salvador in the building? Huh? Because right now, quiet is kept, right? In all of Central America, all eyes are on quote unquote El Salvador, right? El Salvador got their weight up. Okay? El Salvador got their weight up. They doing big things. I remember, and it wasn't long ago, they were facing a crisis. Okay? Similar to what Venezuela and I believe Bolivia may have been going through as well. According to Western news media, I have to preface that because who the fuck knows what these people be going through. But based off of what the propaganda, the media was telling us, they were going through some type of economic turmoil. The president of El Salvador decided that they were going to recognize Bitcoin as legal tender, one of the first countries in which to do so, right? And then as a result of that, they began to buy up Bitcoin reserves and things of that nature. Now, understand that there's a limit on the Bitcoins. It will run out very soon, okay? There's a lot of whales that are entering in. There's a lot of big institutions. There's people like Apple and Tesla, right, with the potential to buy up maybe the rest of the stash and things of that nature, especially when they figure out, when they're really certain that it's going to go from 60,000 to 100,000, and then from 100,000 to maybe $1 million a coin. Okay, a coin. So think about a nerd and whatnot, or a blurred, or somebody who was on the dark web, who in 2013 or 14, when the shit was under $1,000, they was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and scoop up 100 of these and just put them up. 1,000, 100,000, when the shit was like a few dollars. Okay, made an investment based off of doing research, right? And based off of saying, you know what the fuck do I have to lose? Without no risk, there's no reward. So there's a bunch of people who have taken risks and they living real high on the hog right now. The new wealth class, not in America, around the world. Asians, a whole lot of Africans, Indians, Europeans, Americans. The shit is up and it's stuck. You know what I'm talking about? Whole lives are changed. And these people are not, quote unquote, they don't come from wealth. They're not part of the 13 bloodlines and all of this retarded shit. They're not even technologically, you know, some of these people don't even have degrees. They didn't, you know, they're not heavily in debt from Ivy League schools. They did not follow the same tradition that the American dream told you that you have to follow to win, right? They tapped into this shit a whole nother way. You know what I'm talking about? And it's not just Bitcoin. You have people who sitting on Ethereum. You got people that's sitting on XRP, Doge, Shiba Inu. I mean, it's a whole litany of shit coins. And like I said before, people hear shit coins and they want to laugh. And I'm like, well, last time I checked, when I talked to the farmers, they said shit was fertilizer. And a lot of things grow from that, especially the shrooms. So on Wednesday, which was October the 27th, the government of El Salvador purchased 420 Bitcoins, increasing the total amount to date that they bought to 1,120. The fresh purchase is worth roughly 24.7 million at current prices. As of press time, Bitcoin is currently trading at Coinbase at 58K, right? The latest purchase comes more than a month after Bukele announced the purchase of 150 Bitcoin, adding to the 550 Bitcoin it bought previously. He tweeted, "We just bought the dip," using a similar framing as the September 20th purchase event. Bitcoin became legal tender in El Salvador on September 7th, following the passage of a law this summer. So to give you an idea of what the market, the job market in America is looking like currently, there's something going on outside. The fact that people are not running to the jobs the way that they were running to the jobs anymore. The fact that in the post-pandemic world that we live in, the jobs or the quote unquote job market is not enticing enough to individuals who have discovered the gig economy, the passion economy, the creator economy, the PP loan hustles. You know what I'm talking about? The PPP loans. You know, I don't advocate no type of larceny, scamming, or fraud of any kind. But what I do know is during the PPP loan heydays and whatnot, a lot of people were onboarded on LLCs, taxes, and basically how to legitimize their hustles or how to legitimize themselves. You dig what I'm saying? It was a great learning curve for the hood. Okay. So Denver's airport held a job fair to plug its huge labor shortage. An exec said that he hoped that 5,000 people would come, but only 100 people showed up, right? So these jobs are not even really offering the type of perks and whatnot. They're not offering dental, you know what I mean? Niggas want to go get them veneers from Colombia. They're not offering a lot of things, you know what I'm talking about? So people are like, you know what? I'm good. I'm going to go and do me some Uber Eats. I'm gonna go and do DoorDash. I'm gonna go do OnlyFans. I'm gonna go and do Patreon. I'm gonna go and do Zoom. I'm gonna go and do whatever. I'm gonna, you know, I'm going to tap into whatever my skill set is or whatever my talent is or whatever my passion is. I'm gonna monetize it. I'm gonna do a clothing line. Okay. I'm going to do a clothing line. I'm going to tap into the metaverse and I'm going to buy some property in Decentraland. I'm going to sell digital real estate. I'm going to stack some coins. I became Bitcoin rich over 2020. I became Ethereum rich. I became XRP and Dogecoin rich. People are like, fuck the job. You can kiss my, you know what. Okay. And the quote unquote businesses are beginning to panic. They are understaffed in so many different places. And we're going to move ahead and talk about the upcoming danger that's looming in the quote unquote cities that are mandating the Jabberwocky, right? Where the police forces and the fire departments and the correction officers are not only refusing the shot, but they're stepping out and they're walking out on the jobs. They're having protests and whatnot. And we have deadlines like the deadline that they have for New York and Chicago tomorrow, where 25% or even half of the police force is going to be sent home without pay. All right, we're going to talk about that in a minute. But like I said, they had a concessions company said that it needed to fill 38 jobs, but only 2 people applied, right? He said organizers hope that 5,000 people will come to fill both entry level and management roles. You feel me? They like, nah, we good. You know what I'm talking about? Remember career day and whatnot? I went to some of them auditoriums back in the days when I was job hunting, and they have all of these different entities sitting there and having you fill shit out and whatnot, making you feel like you about to hit a lick, and then they don't call you back. Well, yeah, that's what people are doing, and they're bypassing that. You know what I mean? They selling that Zaza. You know, they getting them packs from Cali, and they going brazy with it. You know, they selling Delta 8, CBD and whatnot, legal shit. You know, marijuana is legal in New York. I don't know about where you from, but yeah, it's legal where I'm at. Mortensen said that Concessions International, which has 8 concessions at the airport, including branches of Chick-fil-A and Wetzel's Pretzels, had needed to hire at least 38 workers, but only 2 people applied. The U.S. labor shortage has affected industries ranging from education and healthcare to trucking and restaurants. Record numbers of Americans have quit their jobs in search of better wages, benefits, and working conditions. The DCA and airport leadership organized a job fair at the Airports United Club with representatives from nearly 170 concessions. Jobs range from entry-level positions to top management roles. That's why you see Joe Biden opening up the borders. That's why you see them bringing in the Afghanistan people and whatnot. That's why you see them going into Africa to say, look, we got 5,000 visas. Can you give us access to some of these mines? Can you give us access to this gold? Can you give us access to this copper? Can you give us access to your water so we could fish and whatnot? This is what they're beginning to do to trade off because they need that buffer race to come in and work for them. Right? So they're like, oh shit, we're gonna flood the border, open up the border. But the minute the Haitians come, close the border. But prior to that, they're like, yo, run the Mexicans in. We need that. We need that buffer race. We really do. Okay? Because this shit gotta keep moving. The airport hiring woes aren't limited to its concessions. The labor shortage could be contributing to huge airport security lines as travel rebounds. The airport hasn't been able to fully reopen its shuttle bus that ferries travelers to the airport because of a shortage of drivers and a shuttle bus contractor. Last month, about 350 janitors at the airport voted to authorize a strike for better pay and workloads. We are sick of being understaffed, overworked, underpaid, and undervalued for our work, right? America's fallen. The America that we knew, the America that we knew, right? The America that we grew up knowing. Those days are coming to a close. The Great Reset is effective on all levels at this point. So people are definitely becoming the digital nomads that we're talking about. People are definitely exercising the options because they know, like you know, that there's money out here and there's an easier way to get it. There's benefits out here and there's new economies that have risen up that have basically disrupted the old economy. Okay, the old economy. So please don't let them rock your children to sleep and try to go to the high schools and shit like that with career day. Have your little ones up in Chick-fil-A and Subways and whatnot, and they running around like they came up and whatnot. No, you are the help. Okay, you're the help. They wasn't even looking your way, but they need you now. Okay, and they're not even willing to come up off of that minimum wage. So we need to have more conversations with our children because even their sweat equity is worth more than the bullshit that we be letting them go ahead and do and whatnot. You feel me? Giving the Gap, giving Banana, giving Old Navy, you feel me? Giving all of these concession stands and whatnot, all of the years of their younger lives, when they could be getting to these NFTs, they could be coding. You feel me? They could have their own goddamn networks. They could be doing TikTok dances and making more money. What are you talking about? They could learn, they could be learning about these altcoins. God damn it, they could write a white paper for their own altcoin. People that are shaking up this industry is under 30, the majority of them. You know what I'm talking about? Shiba Inu coin is vying with Dogecoin to be the 10th biggest cryptocurrency, right? Shiba Inu coin is eyeing a spot amongst the 10th largest cryptocurrencies amid an epic rally, right? CoinGecko data showed the meme-inspired coin overtook Dogecoin in terms of market capitalization. The meme coin has risen about 133% in the last 7 days, stoked by retail investors in the SHIB army. Shiba Inu coin is vying with Dogecoin for a spot in the list of top 10 cryptocurrencies as an army of retail traders take the token to new heights. On Twitter, the hashtag SHIB army trended as fans of the coins cheered at the narrowed the gap with Dogecoin for the 10th largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization, right? That's crazy. It's not even at 1 penny. It's not even worth 1 penny yet. And it's already going crazy. I don't know if people understand what that even means. The coin, so think about it. if I jumped in and I was like, yo, I want to buy 1,000 of these coins and whatnot, and the shit is not even a penny. I'm like, I got $1,000 and I want to put it on this coin, and it's not even a penny. It's 0.00000000001 cent, right? When it first popped off. So imagine when you drop $1,000, you got billions of them shits. And then it starts going on a run, right? Like Blue Pill was indicating, you know, in these months that we're in November, we're in Scorpio season. Scorpio season is about resurrection. It's the death sign and whatnot. It's about sex, it's about life, it's about death, it's about resurrection, henceforth the phoenix and whatnot. Prior to that, Libra season, it was the balancing of the scales, right? Either it's going to live or it's going to die. It has to balance itself out. Now we're in the resurrection season. So I got Shiba. I was sitting on Shiba earlier this year, but then the shit went into the underworld. It was dead. And I was like, whatever, you know what I'm talking about? I'll take that L because I invested what I could afford to lose. I don't really need that shit. If it went rock bottom and whatnot and it didn't do what it do, I just have to count my losses. Let's say that I put 5,000 in it and the shit is down to like 2,000 and whatnot. Hey, you win some and you lose some. But now that bitch done came back to life and it's up to like 20 something, almost 30 racks. You understand? That's how crazy it's going. And it's not even at 1 cent yet. So this is what we're talking about with the altcoins. This is what we're talking about with cryptocurrency. It's not hard. It's not difficult. It's not jargon. It's not, oh, this is technological jargon. No, it's not. Nigga, you've been in the dice game. It's 4, 5, 6. That's what this shit is. It's called CeeLo. You know what I'm talking about? You gotta take a risk. It's called investing. It's called investing. Investing. If I'm a farmer, right? And I invest in a bag of seeds, I invest in a crop and whatnot, what do? I plant those seeds and then I allow the seeds to germinate, and then I allow them to grow, break through the soil, and then I allow them to blossom, and then they bear fruit, and then I pick the fruit. That's the same thing that you're dealing with these altcoins, cryptocurrency, or what they call shit coins and whatnot. You're not going to blow up the next day. You're not going to get rich next week. You might look at a year from now. You got to have a long game. You got to play this shit for the long game. And people are like, yo, don't sell your coins. Sell them in 2023. I'm like, damn, fam, I got shit that I need to do. But I'm willing to just let it sit. Okay? I'm willing to let it sit. And it's going to get better in time. It's going to increase in prices and time and whatnot. That's what Bitcoin is doing. It is stored value. It is stored value. Oh, you can't hear the sound effects? I was doing all of that with no sound effects. That's crazy. That's real crazy. You know what I'm talking about? Thank you for letting me know that. I thought I was doing something. So the coin is about $6 billion away from, you know, toppling some other coins and whatnot. Right? So make a long story short, the shit is just going crazy, right? It's going crazy. And they're asking, they have a petition, traders and investors, they're enthusiastic about Robinhood adding Shiba Inu to its crypto platform. And when it does that, when Robinhood does that, eventually, because I'm sure that they're not going to avoid doing it, it's even going to go crazier, right? It's even going to go crazy. Yes, it is a struggle to buy. I shit you not. I think I grew 2 gray hairs trying to get it back in the days when I was trying to get it. I highly suggest that you go to the Google, to the YouTube tutorials. There are people around the world that will walk you through it. Learn what a VPN is in order to block your addresses in case you're in America or you're in places like New York, Connecticut, there's a few other places that do not allow you to purchase cryptocurrencies and whatnot because of the regulations and the laws and the SEC and shit like that. So there's ways around it. You know what I mean? There's ways around it. You got to be able to navigate. When Slice comes on, we'll see what he's able to do for us. I think he has a demonstration that he'll be able to show, but check this out, right? I don't know how Zoom is with their censorship. I don't know if they have algorithms that pick up code words and shit like that. So when we talk about this, of course, we're going to say the Jabbington or the Jabberwocky, right? But we're just basically, this is fair. You know, we're not afraid of nothing. We're just giving the news as it is, right? But of course, we know that the Jabberwocky is it someone you could refer on YouTube? If you're familiar with Bitcoin, I mean, to be honest with you, no. Chicago Crypto Block Hustler. Chicago Crypto Block Hustler. That's the first person that I would recommend, right? That would be the first person that I would recommend that could walk you through it and whatnot. Chicago Crypto would be the one. You know what I mean? When it comes to the brothers and sisters from the continent, there's a lot of Indians and whatnot. There may be a language barrier. I was able to understand. I pushed through the Punjabi and I understood it. They were people with heavy African accents, dialects. I pushed through that. I was learning, you know? So I dived in, you know what I'm talking about? This was like last winter, February, March, April. That was all of, you know, that's hibernation season. That's time to learn. That's your education time. That shit is around the corner. It's coming up again. You feel me? Lock in. Lock in. That's why they're pushing for Robinhood to list it, because once Robinhood lists it and once Robinhood puts it on their platform, then it just took away it really made it easier. It really made it easier. It will alleviate all of some of the things that you got to do in order to snatch that thing up. And like I said, it's not even at a penny right now. Do not get in even when it hit a penny, you should buy that shit if you want it. Don't fall for the okie doke. Don't get FOMO. Don't act like you too late to the party, because you're not, my G. Stop and do not compare yourself to other people in this space that are doing what they do. You on your journey on your own. Don't pocket watch nobody. You know what I'm talking about? It will make you miserable. It will make you miserable. It will make you miserable. That's a hack right there. Take that or leave it and whatnot. It should make you miserable. Don't compare yourself. Don't be, you know what I mean? Don't be measuring, you know what I'm saying? Swords and whatnot. Don't do none of that. Don't pocket watch. Don't do none of that. Just live in your lane, my nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Live in your lane. Be comfortable with what it is with the coins that you got. And do your research. And you'll come up. You will come up. It's a lot of those coins. Don't worry about if you miss out on one. Don't live in that reality, because that's the shit that sunk the Titanic. You know what I mean? A lot of people went underwater because that mentally, you know, they got caught up in that social media hype. They got caught up in, niggas is stunting and whatnot, and I'm not. Oh, I wish. Oh, you sound like R. Kelly. I wish. No, nigga, don't wish. You wish upon a star that the coin that you bought, that shit blows up one day. Wish on that. Don't wish that you was around in 2013 when Bitcoin. Wait for the time machine to come out, and then you could pull a stunt. But for right now, look ahead, my nigga, and in the present. And in the present. So, in New York City, the Empire State, right? Home of the Braves. In New York City, the Empire State, right? That has a crazy governor, a new governor that's female. She's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? And a lame duck mayor. The mayor is lame duck. His name is Bill de Blasio. He's married to a melanated woman. He's one of the most lamest mayors that we've ever seen in New York City. The police don't respect him. Nobody really respects him. You know what I'm talking about? He's you know, he be on joke time. Like, you know, he's just, I don't know, whatever. they put out a mandate, which is not a law, right? It just sounds like it, but it's not a law. They put out a mandate that basically said that the Jabberwocky or the vax are required in order to go inside of the businesses, right? So peep the language that they're using, right? The key to New York City unlocks, right? Because obviously the doors were locked. It was a lockdown. Indoor entertainment. So in order to go to the movies, live music, concert venues, like you see, they keep pushing the quote unquote verses in New York City, right? With the Locks and Dipset. Then they had the Big Daddy Kane. That's all indoor activities. The basketball season coming back with the Knicks and the Nets. That's all indoor. So in order to even be in them places, you got to get jabbed up, right? Aquariums and zoos, museums and galleries, sports arenas, stadiums, convention centers, exhibition halls, bowling alleys, arcades, pool and billiard halls, recreational game centers, casinos, adult entertainments. You know, the peep show on the deuce, my nigga. In order to play with your willy on a deuce, you got to get jabbed up. Indoor dining, restaurants, catering halls, event spaces, bars, hotel banquet rooms, cabarets, nightclubs, cafeterias, grocery stores with indoor dining, bakeries, coffee shops, fast food, quick service with indoor dinings. They like, yo, you got to get jabbed up. Indoor fitness, gyms, fitness centers, fitness classes, pools, indoor studios, dance studios, sports classes. Now, I'm just here to let you know, right? I'll be on the outskirts of New York City. But when I go into New York City, I don't see none of this shit affects me. None of this affects me, right? I'm not going to Planet Fitness in New York. I'm not going to sit down in the restaurants in New York. You know what I mean? I might go, you know, to the Dominicans. I might go to a vegan spot. You feel me? But I don't have that. That never came about. Like you know, the world that I live in, because you know, we live in the world, but we all live inside of our own worlds. So the world that I live in, I'm protected. I'm not worried about none of that. I don't even have to get one of them fake vax cards. I'm not even pressing the limit like that. I'm just like, whatever, like I'm good. You feel me? Like none of that shit bothers me. But that's just me. There are people out here that gotta do that. There's people out here that they don't have the options. They're not moving like that and whatnot. The way that their lives are set up or the way that their worlds are set up, they may have children, loved ones, relatives, family members, work, co-workers. You know, imagine you going to work at, you know, yeah, let's go to lunch together. All right, cool. Let's go and sit down and eat. And they're like, nah, son, I gotta stand outside. You know what I mean? You know, I'm unsullied. So they're aiming to make people's lives a little bit uncomfortable, right? So in the beginning, you know, they threw a little bit of propaganda out there and was like, just 15 businesses were fined over the vaccine, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Mayor Bill de Blasio, right? He said that COVID-19 vaccination mandates for restaurants, gyms, and entertainment venues is going so well that only 15 businesses have been fined for not enforcing the policy, right? But then prior to that, right, to show you that they capping and whatnot, the city issued thousands of warnings since the indoor mandate took effect. Now, this was in September, right? So the city handed out 3,200 warnings, right? So they're basically scaring the businesses and they're like, yo, you got to oblige. You got to basically, you know, you will have to either bend to our quote unquote, you know, whatever we pushing, or you're going to get fined and whatnot. To my understanding, from what I heard, there's a lot of places, you know, there's just a flood of fake vax cards. There's a flood of, you know, with this New York City, they're going to work that shit out. You already know what it is. You know what I'm talking about? This New York we talking about. You know what I'm talking about? Like, if there's something to be done, it's going to be done there. So there's a lot of people that are curtailing around the BS and whatnot, and they're not really pressed. You feel me? So the reason why I know that they're lying, right? Because remember, with people use media as propaganda. They use headlines, they use front page articles, they use editorials, they use periodicals, they use media, mainstream media, fake news, right? The reason why I know it's fake news is because when you look at the protests that they're having in New York City, that they're trying their best to hide and whatnot, it shows you that the whole city is in an uproar about these mandates and they're not going for it. They're pushing back, okay? So just this Sunday, they had a whole march across the Brooklyn Bridge and whatnot, and they marched on City Hall. And it wasn't just New Yorkers. It was the fire department, is the police, it was the quote unquote corrections officers, it was the city workers, okay? They was like, nah, we not having that. Fuck is you talking about? Paramedics and all of them, thousands upon thousands of them, right? They were trying their best to hide it, okay? Flooding the streets and whatnot, flooding the streets. And then not only were they flooding the streets and whatnot, right? So now they were also, you know, I'll get to it in a minute, but the New York police is to send a quarter of its force home over vaccine status amid protests. So you got restaurants that are telling you that you can't come in and eat without a card, but what are they going to tell the you mean to tell me that they telling the police who might just walk in there? So if you go in a restaurant and you get in a tussle and whatnot, and they call the police to come and get you, are they asking the police, nigga, do you got your card? Because they're not vaccinated. And the reason why I could say it, that they're not vaccinated, and I could show and prove it, is because the whole damn force damn near is out there protesting, okay? If they're like, yo, some of our police officers have the shot, I'm like, how? Where they at? You know what I'm talking about? Where they at? Because there's a whole bunch of pink faces in the crowd there's a lot of swine out there in these protests. It looked like the whole damn police force, if you ask me. So the New York City Police Department may be forced to send 1/4 of its force home amid mass protests and some crime spikes as the deadline for city workers to be vaccinated against COVID-19 goes into effect Friday, right? Police Commissioner Dermot Shea said Tuesday that 72% of the NYPD has received at least one dose. And while he expects that number to increase by the end of the week, those who do not comply will be sent home without pay. So not only are they pushing up on the popo and the corrections and the ambulance workers and whatnot, they was turning up at the Nets game for Kyrie Irving, all right? They went to the Barclays Center and they turned up at the Barclays Center and they was going ham out there. They rushed the gates. You dig what I'm saying? They had a big protest and they were disrupting a whole bunch, and they were chanting, "I'm with Kyrie," right? A whole bunch of white people. I'm bugging. I'm like, yo, what they know about Kyrie? So this was the Nets home opener. You know what I'm talking about? This was the Nets home opener that they did not allow him to play. So the people was like, we're gonna fuck it up. We're gonna disrupt it. That which they did. Right. So now you see your boy Joe Biden that many people voted for, and I'm not judging nobody in this room and whatnot. You could be a blue-blooded Democrat. It don't matter. It's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Who cares? Like, I'm not judging you. I'm not here to bash you or nothing. But what's up with your man, though? You know what I'm talking about? What's up with your man, Joe Biden? Like, that's your boy? You know what I mean? Is that your boy? Because he has the worst approval ratings of damn near any president. He's going senile. He's non-existent. This is the most invisible administration in history. I don't never see Kamala the cat. She's mad silent. This shit is crazy. Who's running America? I would love to know. The judge won't stop vaccine mandate for NYC cops. So the judge vetoed the mandate, instead of holding out, you know what I mean? It was like, you're going to look out for us, right, judge? And the judge was like, nah, y'all got to get that shot, bro. So Friday is that day, right? But not only is it in New York City, this is in other places, right? So, yeah, they was Thursday morning. Today, they was in front of Gracie Mansion. I didn't have the footage. I didn't grab it last minute, but it was a zoo. You know what I mean? It was lit. There was a whole bunch of them. They were on bullhorns and they were talking wild greasy to the governor and whatnot. Mad greasy. Okay. So Chicago is going through the same thing, right? Chicago alderman pushes for special meeting on vaccine mandate that has prompted lawsuits, police union defiance, right? So a federal judge said that he was puzzled by an emergency request by 100 Chicago firefighters and other employees seeking a freeze on vaccine mandate orders by Mayor Lori Lightfoot, right? The 130 plaintiffs named in a federal suit, mostly Chicago firefighters and paramedics, are asking a U.S. District Judge John Lee for a temporary restraining order that will halt the city's requirement that all city workers report their vaccination status or risk being put on no pay status. The suit also challenges Pritzker's statewide order requiring healthcare workers and certain other type of state employees to be fully vaccinated. Okay, so Chicago, you see her, right? You see your homegirl Lori Lightfoot and whatnot. They are pushing back against her. There's a quote unquote tug of war going on between the police chief and her and whatnot. And you know, it's gonna be real ugly before it gets cuter. Okay. Police brass requests vaccine updates from personnel and may deny benefits to officers choosing to retire. Okay. So they talking greasy to their own police officers and they like, yo, take the shot, right? So of course they revolting. She's getting booed out of buildings and whatnot. They booing her down and whatnot everywhere that she go. You feel me? They booing her down. You feel me? She's another lame duck mayor out here, another lame duck mayor and whatnot, running around with no backbone. So yeah, there's a lot of people who are in need of work. There are a lot of people who are leaving their jobs because they refuse to be told what to do with their body, especially doing something that will remain permanently, inside of their bloodstreams and whatnot. So they're like, nah, we can't be told what to do. We are the law. The police officers is like, how the hell, we the law. How y'all gonna tell us what to do? We are the law. We tell you what to do. Well, we tell the niggas what to do. So how is it that a nigga is telling us what to do with our bodies? Nah, not over my dead body. That's what they saying. Not over my dead body. We not letting no Negro tell us that we gotta take some shit, and we kind of skeptical about what that shit is about. So they feeling hoodwinked. So, they're going to take to the extent of it. Now, like I pointed out earlier, right, the creation economy, and I'm not promoting, I'm giving you the news. I'm showing you what's going on out here, right? That's just a disclaimer. I'm a 54-year-old sex worker, and I'm in the top 1% of OnlyFans earners, right? So this is where certain people are headed, yo. This is where they're at right now as we speak. This is, and I'm pointing out the most extreme of the passion and the creator economy. This is the most extreme of the spectrum. Within that spectrum, there's a whole bunch of success stories. There's teachers. There's people who are out here, teaching people they're chefs and whatnot. Yo, this is how you know what I mean? This is how you fricassee your fries and whatnot. You know what I mean? There's people that are teaching people how to do vegan prep meals, how to build your immune system, a whole bunch of shit. But I pointed, this is an article that I'm putting out there to show you that even grandmas is out here on OnlyFans. I'm talking about busting it wide open for strangers for a piece of change, because that might be their passion. I'm a single mom by choice. I had my son on my own using IVF at the age of 42 after a long relationship ended. I knew that if I wanted to be a mom, I had to do it in that way. After my son was born, I provided in-home daycare for other kids so I could be a stay-at-home mom. Then when he went to school, I was able to take on a sales job, but it was not a job I loved. It wasn't creative, and I didn't have any freedom. People would ask when I was going to retire. I would tell them it would probably have to work until I died because I didn't have a lot of money as a single mom. Life was touched financially. I'm frugal. I'm not a designer bag person and don't have manicures and pedicures, but I work full time and only earned around 30 racks a year. I began thinking about sex work after seeing 2 stories about moms who had started to make a lot of money that way online. I don't do anything rash, so I started researching and made notepads full of notes. I understood the consequences, but it seemed too good to be true. Making money from taking sexy pictures of my body. I started slowly in April 2021, sharing pictures on OnlyFans. I also went on Instagram to attract subscribers to my OnlyFans page without showing my face there either. My first 2 fans subscribed on April 4th. One was 28, one was 29. I asked them a lot of questions. I got to know them because they were my only subscribers, right? There goes Becky. You know, I'm talking about, oh, no, that's Gwendolyn, right? So here we have an announcement fresh off of the press. They just made it today that Facebook is pivoting outside of social media, and they actually revealed their new name. They are renaming the company and rebranding the company. Okay, your boy Mark Zuckerberg is headed into the metaverse, and he's so arrogant and he's so goddamn narcissistic that he ran and he snatched a whole meta and he made that Facebook. So Facebook is no longer Facebook. The company is now rebranded as Meta. Keyword meta for metaverse, metaphysics and metahumans and whatnot. This is a very interesting time that we are in. This is a very interesting, this is going to shake the market up in ways that some people might not be able to fathom at this point. Remember this day. You know what I mean? Remember the day that this whole thing switched over. You're gonna hear about metaverse, you're gonna hear about NFTs more. You're definitely gonna hear about cryptocurrency. I believe they have one of their own called Libra at Facebook. You're gonna hear about Oculus Rift, virtual reality, and augmented reality, because the way that they go into the metaverse will be via the Oculus Rift shades and whatnot. The VR headsets is gonna put people in an immersive world similar to what you saw if you saw the movie Real Player One. So Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced Thursday at the company's Connect event that its new name will be Meta. We are a company that builds technology to connect. Together, we can finally put people at the center of our technology, and together we can unlock a massively bigger creator economy. So Facebook is evil. Make no mistake about it. Facebook is evil, right? We know about Facebook, but that don't stop you niggas from putting pictures on Instagram and talking your shit on WhatsApp, calling your peoples in the Congo and whatnot, and you know, and hollering and poking your relatives and hollering at your relatives on Facebook, right? I mean, it's a communication tool. The rebranding of it into the metaverse, if I'm to believe that they're an evil company, that they take your information, they have algorithms and whatnot that are here to, you know, put you into echo chambers and, you know, all of this crazy shit, then of course I know that when it comes to the metaverse, you're gonna have to tread lightly. You're gonna have to pay full attention, and you're gonna have to have, you know, you're gonna have to have your guards up. You're gonna have to have your guards up, right? But that does not take away the possibilities of, you know, the ability to make money, the ability to push a product, the ability to rebrand or brand a brand, the ability to capture multiple income streams, the ability to be a developer or a coder so you can write your own goddamn algorithm, the ability to be a visionary and be able to teach the children in ways that will capture their imagination versus the shit that they were going through when they were staying at home and whatnot. And the majority of these children, their reading levels dropped, all kind of shit. A lot of them were failing and whatnot because they were not encaptured. They were not encaptured by what it is that they were doing on Zoom. You putting 3-year-olds and 5-year-olds on Zoom? Okay, all right, whatever. So yeah, this is the new move is Meta. Now for the KT aliens and for brothers and sisters who've been paying attention and people who have been coming to the workshops and whatnot, you know, this is a day to celebrate. We've been talking about making it to this day. We've reached this milestone. There are some people who have proactively built up real estate in the digital space, like our good brother's biggest crypto play ever, the brother Slice, the company that he co-founded, and Chicago Crypto, and a whole bunch of other people were able to build real estate, to build their own quote unquote buildings, and they have plots of land of digital real estate, right? We're saying digital real estate versus real estate, like physical real estate. The digital real estate is just as exciting. You could make returns that could equal physical real estate. You know what I'm talking about? And it's just as rewarding, right? Without the hassle of fixing a sink and doing all of the remodeling. Okay. So that's an example of an avatar in the metaverse right there, right? That's an example of an avatar in the metaverse. They already was onboarding you to this with the filters that basically would make human faces look like that when they were rolling that out, I think at Instagram and whatnot. So they were already preparing you to basically turn yourself into an avatar, and that's what it looks like, right? So when you put on the Oculus Rift, they have something called Facebook, what's that shit? It's called Facebook Portal, I believe. They got the Facebook Portal, and that would be the beginning of that. That's how they were basically testing it and whatnot. But just think about being able to put on a goggle, right? Put it on a headset, and if you have 50,000 followers, let's say I'm doing a live and it's 300 people in the live, I put on a headset and I'm physically next to I'm walking through the live talking my shit. People might be able to touch me. People might be able to put money in my pocket. People might be able to buy certain NFTs from me. You know what I mean? I might even shoot a fair one with somebody that was trying to troll the God right there in the metaverse. Right there. I might be able to see some fucking boobs in the metaverse. How about that? Show me some boobs. You might be able to go on a virtual date right in the metaverse. You know? They have technology to, even if somebody touches you in the metaverse, you could feel it in the real world. They have something called haptic vests, haptic belts, haptic chairs, and whatnot. Don't sleep on these people when it comes to creating new worlds and sensory stimuli and whatnot. This is what they do. Sensory stimuli. They already got VR porn and all of that. Sensory stimuli, long distance dating through VR, where people is like, yo, I'm getting pleasured, shit like that. So this is Mark Zuckerberg in the metaverse as an avatar, right? As you can see, this is going to bring the children in. This is going to bring adults that are into graphics, and this is going to flood the milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Well, as you can see, this is going to be bringing a whole bunch of people into this space because people are into video games. The gaming world is humongous, right? I mean, it looks appealing. Okay. So Zuckerberg announced that messenger calling is coming to VR and it's going to be incorporated with the Oculus Rift, right? Shit crazy. Your devices won't be the focal point of your attention anymore, he said. We're starting to see a lot of these technologies coming together in the next 5 or 10 years. A lot of this is going to be mainstream, and a lot of us will be creating and inhabiting worlds that are just as detailed and convincing as this one on a daily basis. A number of major companies have changed established brands over the years. Kentucky Fried Chicken shortened its name to KFC. Japanese car brand Datsun became Nissan, right? Google became Alphabet. Snapchat became Snap. But to be honest with you, this right here, to me, this is the biggest rebrand that I could remember, right? This is because they just changed their name. They didn't change their direction. This would be the biggest rebrand from what I could remember. All right. So this is the NFT world, right? And if you've been paying attention, the NFT is going crazy. The NFT world is booming. The NFT world is going up, right? So here you have Christie's, right? The auctioning house. They raised $12 million in CryptoPunks, Bored Apes NFT sale. As you can see from the artwork right here, this is not 3D art. This is 2D art. This is some shit that you could roll a joint, smoke, and draw. If you have drawing skills, you could get on your iPad or your tablet and you could easily draw some shit like this. These are selling for millions upon millions of dollars. CryptoPunks, Bored Apes, and a few other brands and whatnot, okay? So we have a European by the name of Beeple, and he's coming to Christie's with an NFT sculpture. He's doing a physical art piece, right? And it's going on sale on November 9th. It's called a human one, okay? So he's auctioning a real life sculpture for $15 million at Christie's, okay? 15 million, but he sold an NFT for $69 million earlier this year. Okay, $69 million. It was a montage of all of the work that he had on Instagram and whatnot. And he put that bitch out on a 7-foot tall column covered in LED screens, 69 million. Okay, million. Right? So this is the #1 way to play the NFT boom for those that want to be players in this space. There's so many things that you could do in this space. There's so many options. Every single workshop we've done, this is the 6th one, and every single one we've been talking about consistently: NFTs, metaverse, cryptocurrency. To all of the stream chasers out there and everybody who have been tapped in, please drop a fire emoji if you utilize this information, or if you come across this information, or you were in those classes and you were able to receive, okay? The #1 way to play the NFT boom. My dad is a huge sports memorabilia collector. His passion for the hobbies is contagious. So I found myself drawn to collecting at a young age, opening packs and sorting cards in my free time. Looking back, collecting sports memorabilia together made our relationship stronger. Many have a similar story. I have a story such as that. I remember collecting baseball cards, Garbage Pail Kid cards. I used to get excited going to the corner store and buying the cards, getting the gum and whatnot, and seeing what did I get in these cards. I was buying X-Men cards, Marvel cards. I was a card collector. Okay. So when you think about card collecting and memorabilia, just give it the mindset that we've now stepped into a new place where it's the same concept. You're still collecting memorabilia. You're still collecting cards. It's just digital right now. And the NFT is a receipt, right? What the NFT is basically, think about it like this: the music industry, the movie industry, all of the industries were suffering because of bootlegging, right? It basically killed the music industry and it killed Hollywood and whatnot. What NFTs are is basically the answer to bootlegging. It's the bootleg killer, right? It is the bootleg killer. So by killing bootleg, what happens to a market that initially had value? You not only restore that value to the market, but you boost it up, right? So it's almost like playing catch up. Like, damn, for 10 years, we wasn't really throwing big money in this market. But now that the NFTs is able to say, yo, if I buy this, I could prove that this is a one-on-one. So now this shit is going to triple in price. You know what I mean? And then when you resell it, it's going to even quadruple in price. And then when somebody resells that, it's going to go 10 times, it's going to 10x in prices. And then the initial person who it belonged to is getting paid all along the way. You get paid every single sale through what is known as royalties. Come on, man. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. There's nowhere that they're doing that. There's no, like, what are you talking about? You cannot beat that with a bat. The social aspects of the hobby has helped it grow into a $5 billion market, but the collectibles industry is undergoing a massive shakeup. Producers of collectibles are ditching cardboard cutouts for blockchain technology. Instead of cards, producers are selling content via non-fungible tokens, which is short NFTs. NFTs are digital certificates. They certify ownership of digital assets. NFTs are digital certificates. They certify ownership of digital assets. They've risen in popularity dramatically in the past few years, and the content looks drastically different than anything we've seen before. Dapper Labs pioneers the sports collectible NFT trend with its NBA Top Shot brand. NBA Top Shot creates collectible moments, which are short video clips of in-game basketball action. Think about it. Slam dunks, right? The new season started, so the market is about to go crazy. But then you had the playoffs, you had the finals, you had last year's season and whatnot, all of the LeBron dunks, all of the LaMelo dunks and whatnot, all of the Westbrook and all of that, all of these niggas going brazy and whatnot, NFTs. Through the brand, there's a brand called NBA Top Shot, and they're in bed with the actual NBA, right? So the NBA licenses their content to this quote unquote, this brand, and the brand is basically selling collectible cards of players dunking and whatnot, and these cards are reselling in the thousands up to the millions, right? I'm not a big basketball fan, but they're sweet. The Top Shot moments have been a huge hit with collectors and investors. They generated $692 million in marketplace sales since their release in 2019. Daily volume peaked nearly $50 million in February 2021 and has trailed off substantially. Okay? But sports collectible NFTs are far from a fad. The huge opportunity in sports NFTs. At first, I was skeptical of sport collectible NFTs. I figured seasoned collectors will laugh at the idea, but I was wrong. When I asked my father about them, he was blown away by the idea. He's not the only one. The entire sports industry is fascinated by them. Professional sports leagues are scrambling to enter the market. At the end of September, Dapper Labs announced another partnership, this time with the NFL. Like its partnership with the NBA, Dapper Labs has an exclusive agreement to create NFT moments in NFL's best plays. The agreement comes months after the MLB inked the NFT deal with Candy Digital. The MLB deal is interesting since Candy Digital is owned by the sports apparel company Fanatics, right? See, there's some people out here that are stepping it up because they're thinking ahead, okay? You have to be a visionary. You got to think ahead to winning this shit. A clothing company entered the blockchain space. I've seen it all. One thing seems certain, sports NFTs are not going away. This is big news for crypto investors. NFT equals crypto profits. NFTs could be purchased using various cryptocurrencies. As demand for NFT heats up, so will your crypto prices. Although buying sports NFTs could be lucrative, the real trade is buying crypto. Crypto is the center of several mega trends. It could hand investors huge gains. And that's why Ian is presenting a brand new special event called Crypto's Third Wave. He's going to discuss the $9 trillion boom taking place right now, right? $9 trillion boom. You could get a piece of that. Okay, you could get a piece of that. So we touched on this, right? Shiba Inu hits a new all-time high, and because it becomes a top 10 coin. Okay, that's the Shibu dog right there. It's a very expensive dog and things of that nature. Okay, so we already touched on this. So yes, that will be the conclusion of my segment. Okay, I want to bring on my good brother Slice in the building. Slice, are you there? Please come front and center. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, and I'll allow you to do what you do best, brother, and that is teach the people. Okay. And like I said, matter of fact, let's do questions and answers before Slice gets itself together and whatnot. Let's do Q&A. Is there anybody out there that has any questions? If you want to ask questions, you could either unmute your mic or you could type a question in the chat room and I'll be able to answer it for you. Somebody said that they need a teammate. You got the art. Yes, Tony, what's good, my brother? Tony, be conscious. Yeah, you need to link up with a digital artist, specifically a digital artist. If you're in LA, do a career day. If you're in LA, go to Leimert Park and put that shit on a billboard and whatnot. You know what I mean? Put it on a bulletin board somewhere. Go to a college. Colleges are back in. Go to the college where they do digital art and, you know, speak to somebody in the college. Go into the bulletin board, go to the student organizations. There's so many ways because the artists that you're looking for, they're going to be either teenagers, right? They're either going to be teenagers or they're going to be young adults. But don't sleep on them. They're out there and they're active. But, you know, they get into the bag right now because they know what this shit is about. So like I was saying a minute ago, if we have any questions, you know, feel free to ask them and I will answer them. No problemos.
I have a question.
Yes.
First of all, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for this and everything that you do. The 1,000 fans. I know you mentioned earlier about the concepts of the 1,000 fans. Would you expound about that a little bit, or let us know where we can find out more information?
Okay. Awesome. All right. There was a book that I read called The Long Tail. Right? It's a book called The Long Tail, and it's written by an editor from Wired magazine, right? Wired magazine. I'm forgetting his name at the moment, but I will get it for you in a minute. And inside of the long tail, what the long tail denotes is that with the internet, right, or the rise of the internet and internet economy, what used to be a short tail, right? Or what used to be limits, because in the physical world, you have limits. And what it utilized an example that it made so much sense. It utilized the example of Tower Records, right? So it was like in Tower Records, there's dimensions, there's quote unquote size. Yes, Chris Anderson. Thank you, Bernard. Chris Anderson is the author of The Long Tail. So Tower Records is limited to the amount of titles that Tower Records can carry because of the volume and the size of Tower Records. The amount of you know, the amount of racks that they have, all of that shit contributes to the fact that they could sell rap music, but they can't sell rap, country, reggae, rock, which is a genre on itself. What the long tail represents is that it's a never-ending tale. It's a never-ending tale of niches. It's a never-ending tale of options. It's a never-ending tale of basically things that you could get into and you can do as a creator to make money, because back in the days, they might not had people who are into country, crypto, rock, reggae, Latin music. But now you have there's a genre, there's a niche market for that. There's people that are into that shit, right? So with the internet in places like iTunes and Spotify, there's no limit. There's no size, there's no limit. You could create a newer page on Spotify. You don't have to obey what they call was the rule of physical, quote unquote, atoms. In the digital world, you're dealing with bits, okay? and bits are infinite, right? Physical atoms are finite, bits are infinite. Okay, so what they were saying in the theory about 100 fans, 1,000 fans theory, right? It's 1,000 fans theory. It's 100 fans and it was saying for people who are musicians, it was giving musicians this theory or this formula. It's a formula that musicians use and whatnot. But because we're in the new creator economy, it has now spilled out, because when I was reading the book, they didn't use the language of influencers, creators, and all of that. This is early in the game. So for musicians, let's say I'm an independent musician, I'm not signed to a label, but I'm like, yo, I want to be able to live off of my art. I don't want to, you know what I mean? I want to just focus on my craft. I don't want to be caught up in working at Starbucks trying to pay the bills. I don't want to be caught up. I want to work on my craft. I want to perfect my craft. I want to book studio time. I want to be able to do tours and whatnot. There, if you have 1,000 fans, true fan theory, it's the my bad. It's the, when you look at it in Google, put 1,000 true fan theory. I'm sorry, I didn't mean just fans, because fans are finicky. True fans, I'm talking about the fan that buys every single merch that you drop. I'm talking about the fan that comes to most of your shows. I'm talking about the fan that will always support you, who really loves you, right? That's the 1,000 fans theories. And the theory was, if you have 1,000 of those fans who spend $100 with you, right, either a month or a year, then you'll be able to maintain yourself. That's the theory. Okay. So in the day and age that we live in with Patreon, in the day and age that we live in, where you could actually reward your fans and you could bring your fans into a place where, you know, they're centralized and whatnot, that theory has even grown bigger legs. Now you can have a 10,000 fan theory or a 1,000 fan theory, because you could have 100 fans, but if they're giving you $1,000 a year, right? If they're giving you $1,000 a month or a year or a quarter and whatnot, then we know that shit adds up. You know what I'm talking about? So that's the 1,000 fan theory right there. I'll answer any other questions about that, but that's just giving you the context of what it is that I was referring to. So, you know, you be familiar with that. But when you think about merch and whatnot, you know what I mean? Like, it's not that hard to, you know, get your $100, right? So 1,000 fans, right, at $100 is what? $100,000, right? So you saw the article where the lady was like, I only made $30,000 a year. Well, here you have it. There's an artist out there who's independent and he's hot, he's booming, right? He's lit, and he has 100 fans. But throughout the year, he's able to sell $1,000 worth of merchandise, vinyl, cassettes, T-shirts. You know how, like, I don't know if you know about Griselda with West Side Gun, Benny the Butcher, Conway the Machine, and whatnot. They sell merch out the wazoo. They sell hats, hoodies. He got a whole deal with jeans and whatnot. They have a gallery. They sell art. They sell vinyl. They sell cassettes. You feel me? Like, they're not buying into the whole thing about music doesn't sell, right? They're like, fuck that. We're gonna sell merch. We're gonna sell something. You feel me? So they have about 100,000 fans. Okay, they got about 100,000 fans. Somebody's wearing a Benny the Butcher hoodie. That's what I'm talking about. So you know what I'm talking about. So if I only had 100 fans, 100, I'm an artist. I'm like, yo, I'm a rapper. I got, you know, shit. Look at me. I got my shit, you know, Scorpion King, Red Summer. If I identify 100 fans and we have a relationship where by the end of the year, I've been able to produce $1,000 worth of merchandise that they've been able to buy from me, whether it's tickets to go to a concert, merchandise on my T-shirts, my hoodies, artwork, signed CDs, a signed picture of me, whatever it might be, rubber wristbands, jewelry, You know what I'm talking about? Crowns, you know, signature eyeglasses, because you could white label a bunch of things from China. We'll talk about that in a minute. There you have your $100,000, right? Off of your 100 fans. Let's drop a bomb to that. Right? That's the model that they're using with OnlyFans and other subscription-based platforms. That's some of the models that they're using with that, you know? They'll add up the monthly subscriptions. You know, you might pay 20 a month, you know what I'm saying? But that shit adds up. You know? That's $240. 12 months at $20, right? $240, right? Times 100 people, you know what I mean? That's 24 racks. But it goes up from there. Times 1,000 people, right? Then that's 240 racks. You didn't hit a bomb? Let me fix that. I'm gonna fix that in a minute. But anybody got more questions? Let's do it. Let's get this shit. Let's get this shit.
Hey, Ray, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, blessings to you. Good, you're having a great night. I had.
Oh man, I am. Hold on a minute. Let me say something. Yeah, I hit a bomb.
Well, I still can't hear it myself.
You
I don't know if
hear
it's
it?
on my. Yeah, man, we're missing out on that explosion right now. The intensity's missing.
That's what I'm saying. We gotta fix that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so what's good?
Well, I had a two-part question, but I noticed since you was talking more about NFTs and COVID, the second question was about social media streaming, but I guess you was gonna wait till Slice came on. But my first question was gonna be, with NFTs, would this be an opportunity for individuals that I can't draw, but I write music? I'm trying to drop mixtapes and this so forth, and also open up a clothing line. So would this be an opportunity for a music artist and a artist in general to just collaborate, drop their music in? Now it's a, you know, that's an NFT right there. And then basically, if you wanted to, if I was dropping an album, put a package with an NFT of whatever type of animation my artist draws and bring it into the package with the album. You see,
absolutely.
You see that going that far?
Absolutely. Yeah. All you have to do, and I wish, now that you brought that up, I was under the impression that people were familiar with the Tory Lanez thing, right?
Right.
So Tory Lanez, you know, went ahead and sold 1 million copies for $1. For $1, right? He sold them for $1. So people are reselling an NFT that they bought from him for $1 for $10,000. You feel me? For $10,000. So he definitely has pioneered, he helped pioneer the quote unquote this whole NFT thing for the music artists. So most definitely NFTs are going crazy for rap artists, musicians, and whatnot. The record labels, the thing is that the record labels are not really pushing it right now because, you know, they own the artist, they own their quote unquote likeness. They're still trying to figure out what it is that they have to do to, make money off of them, right? They're trying to figure out what it is that they have to do in order to get the lion's share of the money that these artists are making. Okay? So yes, I would definitely say that that's the way. You know what I mean? Definitely look into creating the your music, whatever you got coming up, as an NFT. bombs are back.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you for that.
Let me know if you hear. Okay, I had to fix that. My bad. So, yeah, I believe that Slice will be able to walk you through that. Yes, they do use bots to buy the albums. They use bots to buy Yeezy sneakers. They use bots to buy everything. You know what I mean? The bots are thotting out here. We in a bot world, brother. You know what I'm talking about? You know, so yeah, they use bots to buy shit, but don't let that deter you. Don't let that deter you. You know, somebody asked where to buy his album. His album is sold out, so there's only the secondary market that you could buy the album from. Where's the best place to sell and create NFTs? Slice is gonna tell you. Slice is gonna give you the game. You know what I mean? There's a few platforms, Rarible, you know, OpenSea and whatnot, but the guard is gonna come in and he's gonna lay that out. So, you know, we got you on that. We got you with that. Don't worry about that. And we'll walk you through the whole thing. When you sell your album, let me know, because I'm buying it. I'm buying the NFT. I'm investing. I'm not playing, because I already know what it is. Think about it. If I could buy an album that could make me money, why wouldn't I do that? If I could buy artwork that I could resell to make me money, why wouldn't I do that? What artists do you know provide you the opportunity to buy their album and then make money, make thousands upon thousands of dollars off of their album? It's crazy. That's a lick. That's called a lick in the streets. You know what I mean? So we got to understand where it is, the opportunity that's staring at us, and take full advantage. Full advantage. The new album that I put out, the Red Summer Season 2, that is going to be an NFT, and it's going to be packed with all kind of surprises, and it's going to be a chock full of, I might have, you know, time release videos and whatnot. The videos may be time released through a smart contract, you know, a month later. You dig what I'm saying? Once I sell 1 million of them, I have remixes and other things time release. You know, a remix of an original song. You know, I mean, the possibilities are endless. We are here to juggle the possibilities. Like I said, that's why I'm encouraging everybody to join the Discord, because the thing that I kick myself in the ass about is that when I did all of these workshops starting in 2021, it wasn't a strong follow-up because I didn't have a community like a Discord. I had an Instagram inbox, my niggas. That ain't it. You know what I'm talking about? I had an Instagram DM. That's not how you do business in 2021. That's not how you build community. I don't fuck with social media. Social media is a commercial to me. That's where I promote things and throw a few pictures up. I'm doing social networking right now. That's the next level, social networking. Social media, I'm exhausted from that. You know what I mean? I've done what I could do with it, but you know, if you don't utilize it right, shit is gonna use you. So, more questions, please. More questions. I don't even think there's any more going gold or platinum. Those days, to me, that connotation we should throw that shit out. Fuck going gold and fuck going platinum. You don't even look at that, because you're going to make more money than a gold and platinum artist if you're able to master the whole NFT thing. Now, the key to blowing up with the NFTs is you have to have a network. Henceforth, why I'm like, join the Discord. Let's build this bitch up to the 1,000 fans, 1,000, so we could be pushing the 1,000 fan theory. And when somebody drops something, here, $50, $20, $10, $100, somebody selling some for $1, whatever. But it's about the men lie, women lie, numbers don't. This new world that we live in, this digital world, is built off of a numbers game. You understand? You know what I'm talking about? It's a numbers game. Men lie, women lie. Numbers could be manipulated, so they lie too. But this shit is about numbers. And it don't gotta be big numbers either. We're not talking about 1 million or 100,000. We're talking about a strong network. Your network is your net worth. To this day.
To this day.
It has come to fruition. It was germinating. It's come to fruition. It's here now. It's not just a word. It's really here. It's really here. It don't matter what you into. It don't matter what your religion. It don't matter what your preferences is. It don't matter what your complexion is. None of that matters anymore. None of it. Get off of that. Don't let that shit weigh you down. It matters not. It just matters if you on the same page as your brethren. It just matters if you ready to go. If you pushing the go button, that's all that matters at this point. Don't be trapped in the boxes that have been created for us in the past. I broke out that box a long time ago. I'm sorry.
Peace, God. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
All right. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you, man, for always being, light years ahead of the curve when it comes to this digital space. And just putting the family on. But
King.
Last night the room off the grid got popping, and just listening in so far, some of the things you've been talking about how the brothers, they have the space, the digital land already set up. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering and thinking about, if the digital space, that's a new thing. A couple of weeks back, you were talking about, how when you get in the club early before the mega, the whales come through, you get up in the VIP, you get your section, and then you already in place for like when a Hove come through or a Nas come through, you already got your space. Yeah.
You're already on that couch with your bottles popping.
Exactly. So I'm wondering and thinking like, we was talking about the land last night. Would it be a move to get on like the family and the community in the same digital space or on digital land in a place? Because I'm thinking about, my first store, I want to actually open like a museum in the digital space.
Hell
for ancient homage.
We got a museum. Hell yeah. Look, we got to come together and we got to mob and we got to buy up the block. Buy up the blockchain. You know what I'm talking about?
To this day. To this day.
Digital real estate. Bro, I could show you the numbers. You can't even afford Decentraland right now. You can't even get on Decentraland right now unless you come in and drop in multiple Ethereums, which are up at $4,000. You got to drop about 2 or 3 of them. That's how much that shit went up. And in the beginning of 2021, when in its earlier days, you could have bought parcels of land for like $100, or maybe even less. The shit is up. So there's more than one metaverse. There's a lot of them, right? We're in crypto voxels. There's the Decentraland. You know what I mean? The Decentraland is lit. You know what I mean? But there's a few of them. So yes, we come together and we get this real estate and we build up the real estate and we make that our designation in one of these metaverses and whatnot. And we had that shit booming because, like I said, it's going virtual. So you're going to throw the Oculus on. Like I could put the Oculus Rift glasses on, or I could go right from my laptop and I'm right there and I'm chilling with the bros and whatnot. The same way that you're in Discord that you can hear audio, you put on this, you got audio right there in Decentraland. So your avatar, everybody's talking and whatnot, but we can hear each other.
Oh, man, that's lit. I've been on Roblox with the kids, and that sound way.
Right, it is it's an adult role. If you understand the concept of Roblox, it's the same exact format, and even the graphics, some of that looks the same. It is the same format. So you've been onboarded by your child's game. It already got you there. You see how they buying Robux and whatnot? My daughter hit me up. Yo, I need Robux. She's calling mad far, like, yo, dad, send me some Robux. I'm like, I'm getting extorted by an 8-year-old for cryptocurrencies.
Facts.
But but when it comes time to bring her into our world, it's like a no-brainer. She's going to easily walk right in because she's already primed through Roblox, through quote-unquote, she don't play no Fortnite and whatnot, but she's primed for it.
That's a bet. We definitely going to link up on that. I need to start investing in that ASAP. So I'm tapped in, family.
No doubt. Yeah, definitely tap in. But you'll hear more cloth about. You're gonna see it. I'm sure he's gonna walk us through and show you the metaverse so you can see it for yourself what it is that we're talking about. And how accessible it is right now. Because like I said, we're on a precipice, we're on the cusp of it. The boy Mark Zuckerberg put the word meta out. Go and do the Google trend search on meta right now. It's up. So everything is about to skyrocket from this point forth. You feel me? Everything.
Yeah, that's why I say you always ahead of the time. And you know, Phil been talking about the metaphysical realm, and you know, Bobby been talking about this since like the 80s, 90s. And now we got the biggest social media platform just renamed itself as Meta. So it's like, man, this one of the most monumental classes of the year, man. I'm just glad to be in the building right now. Like, I'm here.
Appreciate you, King. So Don said, "Bless up, Red. Can you please explain how to network outside of social media so that it translates into fan/Discord? Networking parties, get it lit. Networking parties and event spaces, right? Get you some goddesses and some queens to help you host it. Tag an influencer, right? One of these niggas is on, they got mad traction on Instagram or wherever the social media. Drop them a bag or drop them some merch or do, you know, give them an offer that they can't refuse, right? And run up that bag. Because at the end of the day, you don't got to be conscious. You know what I mean? Like I prefer conscious people, but you know, we looking to onboard our folk, our generation, our people. You know, people that don't look like us tap into our culture, and they don't ask permission. They not worrying about if you niggas, they showing up to the Little Uzi concert. They ain't worrying about it. You know what I mean? These is mountain climbers, rock climbers and shit like that from Nebraska. So what's to say that you can't go into different spaces and begin to extract some of their fans and some of the people out of it, and you shining your light? You know, let's say that you are artist, you a rap artist, or you a poet, or you know you're a breakdancer, whatever it is that you do. You know that talent has no color barrier. You shine your light, people are attracted to your light like a moth, right? And then you monetize that, and then you know that's the relationship between fan and provider, or creator and fan, and then you move on. So yeah, I would highly encourage networking events, social events, sipping paints, you know, shit where people could come together, and then when they come together, you have to pitch whatever it is that you're pitching to them when you get them underneath whatever roof that you're under, and make sure it's worth their while. Feed their interest. I'm going to take one more question and I'm going to hand it over to the brother because we're on a 2-hour mark. You know what I mean? We kind of, man, I didn't know we was going this. It was getting kind of late. One more question and
yeah, Red, what's up, brother?
What up, Khalil?
Yeah, what up, brother? I know we share numerous spaces, bro. I appreciate everything you do. Real quick, can you touch on the augment reality, bro? Because I think that's really going to be something that we got to really watch out for. Please, thank you.
Okay, well, the perfect example of augmented reality is Pokemon Go, right? The perfect example of augmented reality is Pokemon Go, where people were utilizing their augmented phones, right? The iPhones is equipped for augmented reality. This is something that Slice showed me. Slice is an augmented reality designer, right? He designs augmented reality. Damn, I don't have it on my phone. I would have showed you the thing that he did for me for a brand that I had called a War Report, the Warranteen Report. When they had us locked down for the first quarantine, I had the Warranteen Report, and he made me. I'm in OpenSea with his augmented reality. I have some artwork that he created that I have on OpenSea and whatnot. So what augmented reality is basically the manipulation of in real world, right? Like it's in the real world. So think about holograms, right? Like when you were watching Star Wars or when you were watching anything where a hologram was coming out of the phone or a device and whatnot, right? They've made technology to whereas this is a reality today. You know what I'm saying? So now they have glasses that are equipped to see things in augmented reality. You could look through your phone and you could point your phone through the camera and then it will beam a hologram or something in an augmented reality. They have drones that they're flying and they're beaming augmented reality in the sky and whatnot, like Project Bloombeam and things of that nature. So we're in some very interesting times. I would tell the creators out there, especially my brothers in Kemetic Nation and brothers and sisters who are studying their history and whatnot, think Dr. Ben's tour to Egypt virtually. And that's all I'm going to leave you. I can't give you too many gems, but, you know, think about Subway Run through Kemet. Shit like that. Because that's what the children are going to get into. You know?
Cool. That's what's up, brother. I appreciate that, bro.
No doubt. So yes, we're going to introduce our guest speaker for tonight. Like I said earlier, this brother has been very instrumental in working, you know, with Know the Ledger, me and Blue Pill. He's also been doing monumental work with some of my shifter brothers and things of that nature. The brother is highly intelligent. He is very gifted. You know what I mean? He is ahead of his time and things of that nature. And he does a lot of good research. And I'm honored